Alright, so now we've sanded it, knocked off the finish, vacuumed it, wiped it down, and now we're ready to stain and or paint. Of course, now with painting there's going to be a whole different ball game, but it's generally the same idea. So yeah, let's stain it. Alright, now what I'm using is, I've been a die-hard Minwax fan for a long time because they really got rich pigment and nice color. Excuse me. But I've recently come across this right here, which is Rust-Oleum Ultimate Wood Stain. Really rich, fast drying, oil-based stain. You can use water-based stain, dye, just about anything. You can even use coffee. I've seen people use coffee to do this, but I guess what I'm getting at is whatever you like to choose, whatever you like to use, excuse me, you can choose. I happen to like this Rust-Oleum. Good stain. Minwax works good too, but nevertheless. So I've already done some of this right here, but I'm going to kind of show you the process on how to do this. Pretty much, I like to get a container. Excuse me. Actually, I'm going to get something to drink. Talk amongst yourselves. Alright, so I get my container with a little bit of stain in it. And you can use a brush, you can use a towel, you can use whatever you want to use. Me, I like to use staining sponges. Really easy to control. You don't get a lot of drips and runs. And I'll go ahead and get into showing you how to do this. You want to get a little bit, then kind of dab it off a little bit. It's good to keep you an extra little towel with you. So if you do have any runs or anything, you can quickly get them. Okay. Same as with the sanding. You want to go with the grain. Okay. And you can just jump right into it, and you can see how rich and thick and pigmented this stain is. So it does really good. Like it. Good quality stuff. Okay, so we want to liberally wipe over the whole thing and do sections at a time. So we're going to start on this top section. The first thing I like to do is just kind of spread it everywhere, being careful not to flip it or let it run anywhere. Okay. Now, once you get it on there, you can kind of let it sit in for a little bit. Oh, and while I'm getting on setting in a little bit, the darker you want your stain, leave it on longer. If you want it real dark, leave it on there and don't wipe it. If you want it just lightly, apply it, then wipe it off with a paper towel or something that's not going to leave any kind of lint or anything, rag, terry cloth, whatever. So we want this dark. So once you apply it, then you're going to make even strokes to smooth it out. It's kind of hard to film this and do it at the same time, but you get the idea. See, you get a little drip right here. Got a little bit too much on, so I'm going to get my other towel and or rag and actually just take some of this stain out of the sponge. Then I'm going to wipe back over everything. There we go, much better. Okay, once you got it even, you want to leave it alone. If you get any runs where you don't want to work at, you go ahead and you wipe them even. That's the reason I like using sponges and not brushes, is you can tell it's not going anywhere, it's not running, it's going just where you want to touch it. Now, on some of the more intricate places, I'm going to have to use a brush, but you know, that's just how it goes. Brush that I recommend is a natural bristle brush. Nylon polyester brushes just smear it around. They don't really hold enough stain for you to work with. So let me finish with this right here. Okay, that's going to look really nice. So we're just going to let that sit there for a second. Okay, so that's really much the process of refinishing and staining. Let me show you real quick what I did with the what did I do with the pulls, the handles? Yeah. Oh yeah, they're dry. So basically I took some spray paint. You can prime them if you want to, but I chose not to. And all I did was put them on a piece of cardboard and got some chrome spray paint and painted them like so, and they're drying, and they're going to look really good with the contrast of the dark wood. Let's run back in here. Okay. Alright. Our stain's on there. It's even. It's where we want it. And now we're going to stain the rest of it. Of course, that'll take a minute, but you know, I took something cheap and out of date. The color was, you know, like a golden oak, and made it this rich, deep ebony type color. One final thing I will say is, you know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. That's it. Jump in there, do it. You know, if you make a mistake, there's always a way to fix your mistakes. Have fun. I mean, this should be fun. This shouldn't be work. Oh yeah, one quick note. Now after this dries, probably 6 to 8 hours, maybe even over the night, you can use a clear coat and or finish. And this is going to give you some protection from scratches and just kind of make it look a little better with a little bit of luster. You can do anywhere from satin to gloss, but you can use oil base, you can use lacquer, you can use polyurethane, but I like to use water-based polyurethane. Now the reason I like to use water-based polyurethane is it's clear acrylic, so it will not yellow over time. Polyurethane will yellow and look kind of dingy over time, and anybody that knows woodworking knows that lacquer will actually turn orange over time. I'm sorry, shellac will actually turn orange over time. And I'll give you a little example of what it's going to look like once you've got the polyurethane on it after the stain is dry. It's going to look beautiful like this. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little how-to video. If you got any comments, questions, like it, don't like it, do so down below. Here's a little list of things you will need. Number 1, old piece of furniture. Number 2, 120 grit sandpaper. You can use mechanical sander if you want to. I like doing it the old-fashioned way, so to speak. 3, vacuum cleaner. Do I have to explain it? No. Get up the dust. Fast drying solvent, rubbing alcohol, lacquer thinner, something after you vacuumed it to wipe it off and dries fast. You'll need number 5, stain or paint and spray paint. You can use oil-based stain, water-based stain, dye, thinned paint. Just, you know, be creative, whatever you want to use. Number 6, gloss coat, clear coat. You can use polyurethane, lacquer, clear acrylic, water-based polyurethane that I use. And number 7, you'll need some towels and a sponge, staining sponge, and a drop cloth so you don't make a mess. Alright, yeah, that's about it. So we took about a $20 jewelry case and I'm going to turn it into about a $100 jewelry case just by a little elbow grease and some knowledge. Knowledge is key. Yeah, that's it. Any questions, comments, leave them down below. And remember folks, If I can do it, you can do it. Later, bye.